Hi, Recovery Girls. It's Chenille, and thank you for joining me today. Hey, ladies, this is the last week in March, and in a lot of recovery circles, in the third month, we talk about the third step. So, I want to share a little with you about the third step and what I call the third step part A. So when I came into recovery, I had some very toxic and unhealthy thoughts about God that made it very difficult for me to freely work the steps. And when I got to step 3, it took me a while to really get to the point where I was willing to turn my will and my life over to the care of God, because at that point in time, I wasn't quite sure that I could trust him, and I didn't know if he was going to allow bad things to happen to me or if he was going to allow good things to happen to me. I just wasn't very secure in my understanding about him in relation to me, so that made it very difficult. So what I had to do in preparing for the third step was to take a look at those thoughts, concepts, values, ideas that I had about God that prevented me from being able to fully submit myself to step 3. And for me, that was a two-part thing. The first thing was just challenging the ideas, actually writing out the ideas that I had about God that were contradictory to the idea of him caring for me. And then secondly, I surrounded myself with people that reflected God's care and love. And the amazing part about it is it didn't happen in a religious faith community, although that could possibly happen for some people, might happen in meetings, and just seeing people who cared and people who were working the steps, that really reflected God's love to me like a prism and really helped heal those broken parts of me that made it difficult to believe and trust in a good, caring, and loving God. But in hearing other people talk about a good, loving, and caring God, and me wanting to turn my will and my life over to him, I knew that I had to create a different view of God and a different understanding of God based on his love and his goodness. And I know that doesn't mean that I'm unaccountable because he loves me, but it means that he loves me, and now I know that he loves me just because I breathe. There's nothing that I have to do to earn or get his love. He loves me completely and totally. And if I get his will in my life, that is determined on if I'm choosing to turn my will and my life over to his care, and I'm choosing to allow him to lead and guide me. So ladies, I'm not quite sure where you are with your step 3 and you're turning your will and your life over to the care of God. But if you are finding any difficulties, I would just encourage you to take a look and see if you might need to do a step 3 part A, where you just challenge those thoughts that make it difficult for you to move forward. And, surround yourself in a loving environment that reflects the care of God for you, so you can fully surrender to this step and watch for the miracles that happen when you do so. Ladies, remember that God is wild about you and he longs to overshadow you in his goodness. All we have to do is let go and let God. I've let go, ladies. What about you?